Good, how are you? Yep, you got it. Logan, if you want to start recording, you can start that. Thank you, sir. At the end of this game, we'll have to have you switch into the Royals game, so I'll have you get that set up. I'll okay? You'll exit the screen like you normally do, and then I'll let you know how to get into it. So. Thank you, sir. like, so this stuff's been going on for 150 years. Umpires today?
Oh, we're not sure. We're actually hoping not. Joel umpires, and Joel can do it. I never did ask Skyler what happened to the
Maybe you can do it. You stretched out and ready to go?
I'm ready.
I told you better do good.
How are you guys?
Yeah.
We're good. How are you? Good.
That's what I said. I said, we have two umpires.
Don't kick this out.
I didn't get run off the field.
You have to up your salary, though.
From $1 to $2.
At least a free hot dog.
Oh, like I need that.
No, you have fire.
Give me about 1 minute here to start up the intro. Actually, you know what? Go ahead and do it now. Two minutes for me. 2 minutes. Yep. Yes, sir. Of a North Central Kansas League doubleheader between the Concordia Panthers, Lexington on the season, and the 9-9 Marysville Bulldogs. Starting in the circle for Concordia in this one will be the senior pitcher in Aaron A. Flesher. Flesher 2-5 on the season with a .315 earned run average. She has allowed 18 earned runs off 41 hits, has 28 strikeouts and 10 walks on the season. She has thrown 5 complete games coming into this matchup. Catching for her behind the plate is the senior in Emily Johnson. The infield at first base is the senior Kate Nelson. Junior Carly Brown is at second base. Junior Kinsley Bethune is at short. The third baseman is senior Brennan Bonner. The outfield is the senior Hattie Blackwood in left. The freshman Stella Trost in right. And the center fielder junior Kenley Williams. To lead things off for the Marysville Bulldogs, it'll be the junior pitcher in Lindsay Dressman. In the first pitch to Dressman down in the dirt from Flesher for ball number 1. Left-handed thrower able to deliver this next pitch in for a strike, and that'll even the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Just watching Aaron A, really, like you said, a left-handed pitcher, that's a little different, but boy, she's got a good fastball.
Next pitch going to miss high for ball number 2, and so the count will now advance to 2 balls and 1 strike. Beautiful day at the Sports Complex, 83 degrees on this Tuesday afternoon. West wind at 21, gusting up to 28 miles an hour as Flesher's next pitch going to come on the outside corner for a strike. And so the count now evens itself up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dressman, junior pitcher, right-handed hitter for this Bulldog club that enters at 9-9 on the season. 1-5 in North Central Kansas League action, coming off a split against Clay Center. She's able to swing on the 2-2 pitch. Off the glove of the right fielder, the freshman Stella Trost. Dressman with a lot of speed, turning around second, heading towards third, and off the air she's able to reach. And so the first batter on for the Marysville Bulldogs is Dressman, able to reach. She's at third. And now coming up to bat here at the top of the first inning is the junior center fielder in Paige Siemens. Another right-handed hitter here for this Bulldog club as Siemens will step in the first pitch from Fletcher. Swung on, ground ball, and that's going to get past the third baseman in Bonner. That will score Dressman, and it's an RBI single to left for Siemens to score the first run of the contest for Marysville.
Line drive, right ground ball.
That'll bring Grayson Ketter up to bat now, the junior right fielder. The first pitch trying to lay down a bunt. And this one gets past the catcher here in Johnson. They're going to allow the runner, Siemens, to advance from first on over to second.
Will be a strike.
So Ketter trying to advance that runner, looking to lay down the bunt. Now facing an 0-1 count. We'll watch this pitch miss outside for ball number 1. Grayson Ketter, junior right fielder, backs in the number 3 spot for this Bulldog club. Marysville's already out to a 1-0 advantage here in the top of the first. That's a ground ball played off 2 hops at short by Bethune. Long toss over to first in Nelson. That's in time for out number 1. Siemens making the run, does after Bethune makes that throw from short on over to first, and so Paige Siemens able to move and advance from second on over to third on the ground out there by Ketter. And that'll now bring up to bat Trinity Hager, the first baseman. And the first pitch in for a strike from Flesher to Hager. Trinity Hager, right-handed hitter. Junior first baseman for this Bulldogs team. As Flesher on the 0-1 misses inside for ball number 1. And with a hitter, they're going to say it did. And so a hit batter here will put runners on the corners as this one coming high inside. Trinity Hager hit by the pitch, going to take her place at first base.
Didn't hit it very hard. I mean, I just barely saw it. Just took off down first base line.
That'll bring Sarah Nemec up to bat now for Marysville. The first pitch in for a strike. Panthers no attempt at a throw down as Trinity Hager going to steal from first on over to second. Take away that force out and move herself into scoring position. Just 1 out here in the top of the first, 2 on, and Nemec represents the 5th hitter this inning. This next pitch going to miss just outside for ball number 1. And so the count 1 ball and 1 strike here from Flesher to Nemec. Sarah Nemec, another one of the talented juniors on this Bulldog team. Up the middle. Turning around third, she'll come in to score. And at third, standing up, and the Marysville Bulldogs out to a 3-0 advantage here in the top of the first inning on a hard hit ball up the middle by Needham.
That was just between the shortstop and the second base. The outfielder didn't really come up with the straight lanes. He got home with it.
Now up to bat, swinging and fouling this one off is the sophomore shortstop in Aubrey Dressman. Dressman swinging away at that, fouling it back out of play for strike number 1. Dressman represents the 6th batter this inning for Marysville. Still in the top of the first, and the Bulldogs out to a quick 3-0 advantage. Off-speed pitch here, out in front. Dressman swings and misses. Falls behind the count, now no balls and 2 strikes.
You know, that was a beautiful pitch. Again, Aaron A. has been doing a nice job throwing fastballs. He really did. This was a fastball outside.
So low and away on the pitch for ball number 1. The count will now move to 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 on with 1 out. 3-0. Marysville's already posted 3 runs here in the top of the first. Dressman swinging and fouling this pitch off, and the count remains steady. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Let's go.
Junior Grace Turner, the second baseman for Marysville, waits on deck for the Bulldogs. Sarah Neiman, after a 2 RBI triple to center, stands at third. 1-2 delivery on the way. This one swung on, and that's a fly ball that finally gets in left center. That'll score another run for the Bulldogs. Play at second base, the ball over the second baseman in Brown, and sliding in safely with the RBI double is Aubrey Dressman. She's able to score Nemick, and it's a 4-0 advantage now for the Marysville Bulldogs here in the top of the first. Coming up to bat now is Grace Turner, and the first pitch going to miss low for ball number 1. Grace Turner watches this pitch come in for a strike.
Framed that up.
1-1 the count. Turner, the second hitter for this Bulldogs team that's raced out to a 4-0 lead. She watches this one miss low for ball number 2. So the count will now advance 2 balls and 1 strike. Aubrey Dressman at second. 1 away here in the first. Again, 4-0 Bulldogs. Next pitch swung on. This one back towards the backstop foul.
I think he could have had that.
Protective fencing in my way. That was probably a good call. Grace Turner fouled it off for strike number 2. So the count will now advance to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Next pitch swung on. Ground ball in the infield. Legs up and through. So off the air. Grace Turner's going to reach. Dressman advances from second on over to third. So now there's runners on the corners as the 8th hitter this inning comes up to bat. It'll be the sophomore and Emma Barrett, the catcher for Marysville.
One out.
Fletcher, the first pitch to Barron's in for a strike. Panthers no attempt at a throwdown as Turner going to steal from first on over to second. Put herself in the scoring position. The second base of the inning for the Bulldogs. Next pitch, this one just outside. Now they're going to call it on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-2 the count. From Fletcher to Barron's. It's Barron's, the 8-hole hitter, right-handed hitter, sophomore catcher. Watches this pitch come down. She'll swing. Watch this up in the infield. Harley Brown, the second baseman, able to make the out. So that is out number 2.
Riley did a nice job again. That wind blowing pretty hard in from right field. Quite a bit. She had to stay with it. She stayed with it.
The 9th batter this inning now coming up for Marysville. Katie Keller steps up in the first pitch. Going to miss inside for ball number 1. That is the senior left fielder. The only senior in the starting lineup for the Bulldogs. The 1-0 pitch on the way. This one in for a strike. Right on the numbers by Fletcher. The count now moves 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 away. 2 on. Marysville out to a 4-0 lead here on the top of the first. Fletcher tried to get out of this. Next pitch going to miss low. So it's ball number 2, 2 on the count. Aaron here in the top of the first. Lindsay Dressman, Paige Stevens, Lisa Ketter, and Sarah Nemec have all scored this inning for the Bulldogs. They jumped out to a 4-0 lead here in the top of the first inning. 2 are on, 2 away. Facing a full count is Keller. The pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled off again. No signal that it's a foul as it rolls into play, and I believe the umpire is calling a foul here as they're announced at first out in front of the plate before, but it had been in foul territory, and then it hit her. It rolled into fair territory. The Panthers tried to play it as if it would be an out, but the umpire behind home plate called it the foul ball. So 3-2 the count. Next pitch going to miss low for ball number 4, and so drawing the block is Keller. First block given up of the contest by Flesher, her 11th base on balls of the season, and that loads the bases now. As Aubrey Dressman's at third, Grace Turner at second, Katie Keller at first, and Lindsay Dressman back up to bat. She is the 10th batter this inning. Reached on an error, eventually scored her first time up to start off the inning. She takes her first pitch for strike here against Flesher. The 0-1 on the way. This one on the outside part of the plate for a strike. So Flesher now ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes, trying to get out of a bases loaded jam here. With 2 away in the first. Flesher with the 0-2 delivery. This one just missed low. Ball 1.
Good pitch though on that 0-2 count. Don't want to give her anything real good. Put outside, a little low, trying to get her to chase.
Flesher with the delivery on the 1-2. Swung on, fly ball out towards left. That'll get over the head, out towards the fence. Blackwood chasing it down. 2 runs come in to score them. As Dressman, Lindsay able to drive in. Aubrey Dressman. Grace Turner also comes in to score. It is 6-0 here at the top of the first inning. Marysville on top, and we're going to get a courtesy runner here. We'll get that figured out here momentarily, but a hard hit ball by Lindsay Dressman as she was able to send that over the head of the left fielder in Blackwood. It rolled out towards the fence and was able to score 2 runs for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, don't hit it much better than that. This is a hard hit line drive right over the third baseman's head into the left. Let's go. Paige
Stevens, who already scored this inning, coming up to bat now. Had an RBI single to left her first time up. She's going to foul off this pitch, a 1-0. That goes back behind the backstop for strike number 1. The count now evens itself up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Flesher preparing for the 1-1 delivery. This one check swing goes for a strike. Stevens behind the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shaylee Veering is the pinch runner who came in at second base. The next pitch, another one low. Check swing again. This time Siemens doesn't go around. And the ball in the dirt for ball number 2. And so the count now moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Veering end to run for Dressman at second. 2 in scoring position, and on the 2-2. This one fouled off out of play by Siemens. The count remains steady. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away.
Right fastball, and she had a really good cut. Siemens had a really good cut at it.
So Flesher trying to end the inning. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, popped up. This one bounces and rolls foul. And so the ball will roll foul as it bounced along the first base line in between home and first. Trying to chase in on it was the pitcher. And Flesher wasn't able to get there to make the catch. She watched it bounce in fair territory and then roll into foul territory. So back to the plate is Siemens facing a 2-2 count still. Flesher with the pitch. This one gets away from her down in the dirt. Might have come off her hip as she was looking to make that throw. Unfortunate that it didn't make a roll right to the catcher in Johnson, but now we count full 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Johnson had to come quite a ways to her right. Johnson allowed the runners.
3-2, popped up. This one in foul territory. Comes back there in the wind. First baseman and Nelson able to make the grab. And that will in top of the first. But Marysville able to do some damage. The Bulldogs end up bringing 11 batters to the plate. They score 6 runs and they have a 6-0 lead as we went into the bottom of the first inning here in our softball game of the week. Coming up for K40, Aaron A. Flesher. Panther right here, Logan. Thank you. Will start things off for Concordia in the bottom of the first inning, with the Panthers trailing 6-0 against the Marysville Bulldogs. Fletcher had an 0-1 pitch and driving this out towards center. That'll be a leadoff single towards center for the top hitter on this Panther team, the senior pitcher, and Fletcher as the first batter able to reach for Concordia. Bring Kinsley Bethune up to bat now for Concordia. The junior shortstop takes the first pitch for strike from Lindsey Dressman. Dressman enters this game with a 450 earned run average. She has allowed 21 earned runs, 50 hits, 45 strikeouts on the peak season with 13 walks. Next pitch in for a strike as well. And so Bethune down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Bethune batting 350 on the season for Concordia. 14 hits, 5 runs batted in on the year for the junior. The 0-2 down in the dirt. Past the catcher and Barons. And Fletcher easily going to take off from first on over to second. Bethune now looking at a 1-2 count. We'll take a look at the defense for Marysville here. Rangers Bethune steps in to face off here against Dressman. Pitch on the way. This one just missed. Ball number 2. Just the count now evens itself up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stepping up, facing the 2-2. With a runner in scoring position, she swings and goes down swinging. Unable to connect there on a hard fastball thrown by Dressman. And that is out number 1 here in the bottom of the first. Again, it's Lindsey Dressman in the circle. Emma Barron's catching behind the plate. The first baseman is Trinity Hager. Second, Grace Turnish. The shortstop defensively is Aubrey Dressman. The third baseman is Sarah Hemming. Out left is Katie Keller. The center fielder is Paige Stevens. And the right fielder, Grayson Ketter. That is the defensive look for Marysville. Emily Johnson, the senior catcher, watches the first pitch miss for ball. 1-0 swung on. She's going to send this out towards center. That'll bounce in front of the center fielder. A long throw coming in at third, but Aaron A. Fletcher thought maybe she was going to tag up. Able to stand up safely at third. And so now there's runners on the corners here for Concordia. As the freshman designated player, Jalen Roush, will now come up to bat for the Panthers.
In a nice hit. They did the ball a little bit to the outside, to the left center field, or excuse me, to the right center.
First pitch from Dressman to Roush. This one going to miss low outside. Ball number 1. Jalen, designated player, a young freshman batting in the place of another freshman, the right fielder, and Stella Trost comes into this game batting .276 on the season. The 1-0, a check swing. This one misses for ball number 2. Quick throwdown from the catcher and Barons to the third baseman, and Nimick trying to get Fletcher, and they're not able to do so, so the runners remain safe on the bags here for Concordia. Emily Johnson at first, Fletcher third, and Roush swinging, and this ball going to go foul down the first base side. The count will now move 2 balls and 1 strike here to Roush.
You ready, right side?
On the way, swinging here and unable to connect is Roush, and the count will now move to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jalen this season, 9 runs, batted in, 8 hits. She has 3 doubles, 1 triple on the year, 2-2 pitch on the way, and this one misses outside for ball number 3, and so Roush has been able to push Dressman here to a full count.
She's done a nice job, really staying with the pitches and not swinging.
3-2 pitch with 1 away and runners on the corners. A check swing here and Roush ball forward. And that'll load the bases for Kinley Williams, the junior center fielder that's going to come up to bat now for Concordia. Williams batting .222 on the season. With 1 out, she's got 3 on the bags to work with. First walk given up by Dressman. First pitch here to Kinley Williams. Going to miss outside for ball number 1. Williams already a 6th hitter this inning. for Concordia, who's trying to rally after giving up 6 runs in the top of the first inning. Panthers down 6-0 with 1 away here in the bottom of the first. But again, 3 runners on, and Williams swinging away at the 1-0, fouls this one back to even up the count. Now 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think that's a pitch that Williams really wanted. It was a good fastball right over the middle of the plate. He had a good swing at it, but just didn't connect.
8 hits, 3 RBIs on the season for Williams. Williams waiting on the next pitch. It's in for a strike. The count now moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes to Williams. Brecklin Bonner, the senior third baseman, waits on deck. Next pitch swung on and fouled back here by Williams. As the count stays 1 ball and 2 strikes. Aaron Flesher led off the inning with a single to center. She stands at third. Following the strikeout by Bethune, Emily Johnson singled to center. Johnson at second base. Jalen Roush walks, she's at first. And swinging and fouling this one off is Williams as the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runs in on the play, scoops it up, and steps on home plate before Flesher can beat her out. And so Concordia leaves 3 on the bags as the Panthers down 6-0, heading to the top of the second inning here in our softball game of the week broadcast. Coming up, the 3-4-5 hitters for Marysville: Grayson Ketter, Trinity Hager, and Sarah Nemick. We'll take a break. We'll come back. You're listening to our softball game of the week broadcast on KNCK. Take a minute. 5 hitters coming up this inning for the Marysville Bulldogs as we head to the top of the second inning. Marysville out in front, leading 6-0. Grayson Ketter will start things off. Right field, junior first baseman in Trinity Hager, and junior third baseman in Sarah Nemick. First pitch here from Flesher to Ketter, in for a strike. Able to post 6 runs back in the top of the first inning. As they were able to attack Concordia early in that inning. The next pitch going to miss like 2 balls, 1 strike. Next pitch, this one going to miss high. get her forced out, or get her tagged out, I should say, on the stolen base attempt at second for out number 1 here in the second. So Trinity Hager facing a 1-0 count, fouls off this pitch, and the count now 1 ball, 1 strike to Hager.
That was just a nice throw and a nice tag. And then they had her by about 2 steps.
Next pitch misses high for ball number 2, so the count now 2 balls, 1 strike. This pitch swung on right to the glove of Fletcher. Makes a toss to Nelson, is able to get the second out. That ground out came right back to Fletcher, who was able to get it in her glove, and then was able to make the toss over to Nelson to record the second out.
He's an extremely good athlete, and boy, that was quick reaction. How that ended up in her glove, I'm not sure, because it's not very far back. What is it, 45 feet or something like that, I think, and man, that ball was hit hard.
Sarah Nemec coming up to bat here, the third baseman for Marysville. Takes the first pitch outside for ball number 1. The next one is swung on and fouled off for strike number 1. So Nemec facing a 1-1 count. Sarah Nemec had a RBI triple out towards center the first time up, scoring 2 of what would become 6 runs. She eventually came around to score as well back at the top of the first inning. She swings and fouls off the 1-1 pitch here. Out of play down the third base side for strike number 2. So Fletcher trying to retire Marysville in order here in the top of the second. Ahead of the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 away. Fletcher gets the signal from the coaches. Now 1-2, fouled off again, out of play by Nemec, who chased after a high fastball that time. Was able to get underneath it and pop it back to foul. Remain alive. Sarah Nemec, junior third baseman. Sophomore Aubrey Dressman, the shortstop, waits on deck if needed. 1-2 pitch, misses outside for ball number 2. So the count will even itself up at 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away here in the second. Grayson Ketter had walked to start off the inning, but then was thrown out by the catcher and Emily Johnson trying to steal from first to second. Next pitch here, swung on, fly ball that comes off the glove of Blackwood. Nemec trying to turn 2 out of it, will. So with 2 away, Sarah Nemec able to reach there, and she's at second base. And so that'll now bring up Aubrey Dressman, the shortstop, coming up to bat here for Marysville.
Probably go down as a hit, I would guess.
Here's a swing here. Dressman looking for this one. It's going to fall in between left and center, and that's going to score a runner. As coming in to score is Nemec. Off a nice hit. They just found the gap between center and left by Dressman. So Dressman with the RBI, she ends up at second base. She's able to bring in Nemec, and it's now 7-0. Marysville on top. And up to bat now is Grace Turner. First pitch to Turner. And Turner fouls this one off, out of play for strike number 1.
We're out of softball.
All the action here for Marysville coming with 2 outs here in the top of this second inning. Again, the Panthers, Grayson Ketter, led things off for Marysville by drawing a walk, but then was thrown out by the catcher and Emily Johnson trying to steal from first to second. Trinity Hager then a ground out victim to the pitcher in Aaron A. Fletcher. Sarah Nemec was behind in the count 1-2, but then doubled to left, and then she was driven in on a hard hit ball to left center by Aubrey Dressman. Dressman at second. Grace Turner up to bat. Turner takes the next pitch for strike and now falls behind the count. No balls and 2 strikes. She reached on an air, stole a base, and scored back in the first inning. This next pitch down by Johnson behind the plate. Keeping that one in front and making sure that the runner in Dressman doesn't advance from second. And so the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes here from Fletcher to Turner. Pitch swung on, driven out towards right direction, and it's there to make the out as Turner will go down on the flyout. 1 gets left on for Marysville, but they bring in another run, and the Bulldogs have a 7-0 advantage as we will head to the bottom of the second inning here in our softball game of the week. The 7-8-9 hitters coming up for Concordia. It'll be Blackwood, Brown, and Nelson. We'll take a break. We'll come back. You're listening to Panther Softball on KNCK. the top of the hour, we owe you a station identification. You're listening to Concordia High School softball action on 1390 KTK, Concordia, 98.3 FM, and NCKtoday.com. Toby and Oscar and Warren Swinson with you. Logan William back at the station. We at the bottom of the second. And the 7-8-9 hitters coming up this inning for Concordia. Addie Blackwood followed by Carter Brown. Blackwood takes the first pitch for strike from Lindsey Dressman to start things off here in the second. Next pitch swung on and fouled back by Blackwood, who's now down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Panthers down 7-0 as Marysville posted 6 runs off 4 hits back at the top of the first. 2 more hits gathered in the second. They added an additional run. They lead at 7-0 here in the second. The 0-2 pitch called the third strike. So Blackwood down. That is the third strikeout recorded in the contest for Lindsey Dressman. And that'll bring Carly Brown up to bat now for Concordia. The junior second baseman steps in the first pitch and for a strike as well from Dressman.
Dressman doing a nice job. To the outside of the park. The Panthers really have
Brown switches this next pitch just inside. And one strike. This is the first game. 2 games that between Concordia and Marysville. Brown swing against this fastball, unable to connect. She'll fall behind in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Also tonight at the Concordia Sports Complex, the Panther baseball team in action. They're hosted in Marysville as well. 1-2 pitch swung on and missed again by Brown, who will go down on strikes. And it's back-to-back strikeouts recorded here by Lindsey Dressman. Dressman now with 4 Ks in the contest. Now with 49 strikeouts on the season. Caitlin Nelson swinging at this first pitch, going to foul it off for strike number 1. So Nelson trying to get something going here for Concordia. Panthers did load the bases last inning in the bottom of the first inning. Were unable to bring a run across. Nelson takes this next pitch for a strike. Falls behind in the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. After that, we would hit back to the top of the batting order. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Ground ball in the infield, charging at third baseman. Out he does. Sarah Ethan able to field it, get the toss to Trinity Hager in time, and the Panthers are retired in order in the bottom of the second inning. Concordia falling behind 7-0 as we will head to the top of the third inning. Coming up to bat will be Emma Behrens and Katie Keller for Marysville. And then it's back to the top of the batting order with Lindsey Dressman. We'll grab a break. You're listening to our softball Game of the Week broadcast on KNCK. Take a minute. Starting things off for Marysville here in the top of the third inning. Behrens able to foul off the first pitch from Flesher for strike number 1. The next pitch going to miss high for ball number 1. So the count evens itself up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Flesher with the pitch missing high again, and the count will now move 2 balls and 1 strike. Behrens, the 8-hole hitter in the lineup, popped out to the second baseman her first time up, back at the top of the first inning. Marysville, though, with a 7-0 lead as we begin things here in the third. Behrens fouling off this next pitch, and it comes off the shoulder of the umpire. It looks to be okay, and the count now even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think he's got the head under that shirt. Right on the shoulder, I think.
3-2 the count here. Barron's leading things off against Flesher here in the top of the third inning. Flesher's pitch. This one swung on. That's going to find the gap out in right center. Barron's held up at first though, as she collects the 7th hit of the ball game for Marysville. This time a single out towards right center. And once again, the leadoff batter on for Marysville. That'll bring Katie Keller up to bat. Keller, the senior left fielder, walked but was left stranded back in the first. Keller trying to show signs of a bunt, takes the first pitch high for ball number 1. Barron's does not attempt to steal. Emily Johnson, who threw out a runner last inning for Marysville, quickly up behind the plate, ready to make that throw down towards second. And again, this pitch low for ball number 2. So the count now 2-0 to Keller.
Doing a nice job.
Trying to lay down a bunt, but going foul is Keller, and that'll be strike number 1. So the count now moves to 2 balls and 1 strike here to Keller. After this, we head back to the top of the batting order. Lindsay Dressman, who's got 1 run scored, 2 RBIs driven in so far in the contest, will be due up. Next pitch going this high for ball number 3, and so the count now 3 balls and 1 strike here between Flesher and Keller. Emma Barron started off the inning. A single out towards right center. She stands at first. 3-1 pitch swung on and missed here by Keller for strike number 2. And so the count now advances full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
That's there, and they need to do one more time. She can't just drive the ball right by them.
3-2 pitch on the way. This one swung on and missed. And the first strikeout of the game recorded by Flesher as Keller will go down swinging here in the top of the 3rd inning. That'll bring Lindsay Dressman up to bat now as we head back to the top of the batting order for the Bulldogs.
Nice pitch, high fastball, just about letter high. Another pitch.
First pitch, Dressman swinging, ground ball. Bonner trying to get the out at second base, does. They're unable to turn 2. The ball gets past the first baseman in Nelson. 1 runner, the runner in Dressman. Each time fielder's choice going to advance off the air over towards second base. Panthers there at the 4 outs, getting Barron's out for out number 1 here in the 3rd. That'll now bring up to bat Paige Simons for Marysville.
That was just a nice play, 5-4, got the lead runner exactly what you want to do.
First pitch, this one going to miss high to Simons for ball number 1. Simons had an RBI single to left her first time up. Eventually came around to score, but she ended the inning in the top of the first with a pop out to the infield. This next pitch, going to miss outside for ball number 2. And they do. The Panthers looking to get the out there at second base, and they're able to do it. Nice heads-up play by Flesher, who had gotten the ball back from the catcher in Johnson, and then quickly just fired a shot in at second base. He was able to get Dressman tagged out, and that will end the inning here in the 3rd.
That was pretty. That was really unexpected. Good heads-up play by Aaron, and was it Brown? Second base. And wow, that was good heads-up play by the Panthers. Love to see that. That should give the Panthers some momentum.
Aaron A. Flesher will start things off for Concordia as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Panthers still down 7-0. We'll take a break. You're listening to our softball game of the week on KNCK. pitcher, Renee Flesher, starting things off for Concordia in the bottom of the third inning. The Panthers down 7-0. Flesher, first pitch, this low for ball number 1. She'll take the cut and is unable to connect though on the 1-0 pitch. And the count will even itself up at 1 ball and 1 strike to Flesher. Top hitter on this team, batting .489 on the season. Here's Flesher, 23 hits, 15 runs scored. She's got 8 doubles on the season.
Got a nice base hit to lead off the ball. Now 3 balls and 1 strike here from Dressman to Flesher. Flesher trying to get on. Panthers hit load the bases back in the first. We're unable to bring any runs in. They trail 7-0. Flesher his next pitch. This outside for ball number 4. So Flesher able to draw a leadoff walk to start things off here in the bottom of the third inning. That'll bring up the junior shortstop, Kingsley Bethune. Bethune enters this game batting .350 on the season. 14 hits, 14 runs scored on the year. First pitch hits the outside corner for a strike. Kingsley went down on strikes her first time up back in the first inning. She's been a steady presence in the lineup this season. One of the most improved players on the pitch.
Gotta go.
Down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes here. 1 on, nobody out. The 0-2. This one in for a called third strike. So Kingsley Bethune's going to go down looking here in the bottom of the third inning for out number 1. And that'll bring Emily Johnson up to bat now for Concordia. Johnson single to center, first time up back in the first, but was left stranded in the first inning. First pitch from Dressman swung on and missed here by Johnson for strike number 1. Emily hitting .263 on the season. 10 hits, 13 runs scored, has 10 runs batted in on the year. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled off down the first base side, out of play for strike number 2. So Johnson now behind the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Just a little bit behind that fastball, kind of a late swing at it. She was able just to get a piece.
The 0-2 delivery on the way. This one swung on down in the dirt. It's dropped by the catcher. Johnson goes down swinging. The runner at first, though, Flesher, going to stay at first base after Dressman records another strikeout. She now has 6 strikeouts in the ball game, and that'll bring the freshman designated player Jalen Roush up to bat. Jalen, first pitch, going to foul this one back towards the backstop for strike number 1.
Got a good cut at it. Good fastball, just about weather right. Got a good cut at it. Didn't just barely make contact.
She walked back in the first inning, one of 2 walks given up so far in the contest by Dressman. She'll take a low pitch here for ball number 1 as the count will even itself up at 1 ball and 1 strike. DP batting in the place of the right fielder in Stella Trost. Roush batting .276 on the season. Swings here, ground ball fielded by the third baseman. The toss by Nimick over to Hager at first in time, and that will end the inning. Panthers get a leadoff walk drawn by Erin A. Flesher, but she gets left on the bags. And as we head to the 4th inning, Concordia trailing 7-0 here in our softball game of the week from the Concordia Sports Complex. We'll take a break. We'll head to the top of the 4th. The 2-3-4 hitters coming up this inning for Marysville. This is our Panther softball game of the week on PANTHER. Another minute. 4 hitters due up this inning for the Marysville Bulldogs. Paige Siemens starting things off, and Siemens with a hard cut going to hit this one foul out into the parking lot here at the Concordia Sports Complex. Marysville, 7 hits, 7 runs all together as we head to the top of the 4th inning here in our softball game of the week. Bulldogs in front leading the Concordia Panthers 7-0. Siemens facing a 1-1 count, watches this pitch miss high for ball number 2. The count now advances to 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Paige. She is a junior center fielder facing off against the left-handed arm in Aaron A. Flesher. Flesher's next pitch, high fastball, swung on here by Siemens for strike number 2. The count will now even itself up at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's got a lot of speed in it. It's about neck high and better than tape.
Next pitch, this one fouled off. Late on the swing, but a hard cut. Siemens puts this one out of play down the left field side, and the count stays steady at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Marysville posted 6 runs in the 1st inning, added an additional run in the 2nd. They did not score in the 3rd, and they have a 7-0 lead as we start the 4th. 2-2 pitch and a called 3rd strike. Siemens going to go down looking, and it's the 2nd strikeout of the ball game for Flesher. Aaron A. now with 30 strikeouts on the year.
That was given just a little bit off. It wasn't a full change-up or anything, but just a little bit off of it, got her out in front.
Grayson Ketter swinging on this first pitch, unable to connect for strike number 1. Ketter, the junior right fielder, rounded out to the shortstop her first time up back in the 1st inning. She then walked but was thrown out in the 2nd. Here, fly ball. This one driven out towards left center, and it's over the fence. It's a 1-out solo home run over the left field fence by Grayson Ketter. She's able to put this one over the fence. Marysville has gotten out an 8-0 advantage here in the top of the 4th inning.
That ball has to be hit hard to do that. I didn't think it was hit quite that hard. Wow, to go over that fence is probably like a 6-foot fence, or more, 6-7-foot fence out there, and it was right over that fence.
Hey, Trent, balance, girl, balance.
Trinity Hager coming up to bat now, the first baseman, a junior. Step on, no one on, one away. Again, a solo home run shot given up by Aaron A. The 5th home run allowed by Flesher this season. Hager swinging at his first pitch, pops it up in foul territory. Caitlin Nelson, the first baseman, able to make the play though in foul territory for the 2nd out of the inning.
Nice play by Kate. Come off, she had to come off that fairly quickly. Made it nice pitch.
Sarah Nemec swinging at the first pitch here, and it's going to go foul down the 3rd base line for strike number 1. Sarah, junior 3rd baseman for this Marysville club, had a 2 RBI triple to center back in the 1st inning. She also doubled the left in the 2nd. There's a ground ball taken by the 3rd baseman, and Gretchen Connor. A long throw trying to get it to Nelson at first, and Nelson unable to dig it up. Nemec is going to reach. It'll go as an infield single to 3rd. So Sarah Nemec able to reach with 2 away here in the 4th, and that'll bring Aubrey Dressman now up to bat.
It was a nice play again by the Caitlin Bonner over there. Made it nice go and good job.
Here's a stolen base attempt, and safely able to get around the tag, taken off from 1st on over to 2nd is Nemec. She is safe from 1st at 2nd. And again, it's the sophomore shortstop and Aubrey Dressman up to bat. Took the first pitch for strike. The next one gonna miss just outside for ball number 1. So the count will even itself up at 1 ball and 1 strike here to Dressman.
Nice throw down the second base, just a little bit to the first base side, but again, Kinsley Bethune made a nice catch. Just couldn't quite get the tag on him.
Next pitch going to miss high inside for ball number 2, and the count will now advance 2 balls and 1 strike. Aubrey Dressman with a couple of RBIs so far in the contest. Swings here, 2-1 pitch, pops this up. And it's going to go foul over the fence, out towards left. And so a foul ball will bring Dressman back to the plate. As this one just fouled on the other side of the foul pole out the left.
Panthers were fortunate on that.
8-0 our score. Marysville with 6 runs in the first, 1 additional in the second, and then a solo home run out towards left by Grayson Ketter. With 1 away here in the fourth. Let's put the Bulldogs up 8-0. Aubrey Dressman. 1 on. Sarah Neiman at second, facing a 2-2 count. Flesher with the pitch. This one popped up. It'll go foul as the count will remain steady at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 away here in the fourth. Dressman represents the 5th hitter this inning for Marysville. On deck is the junior second baseman in Grace Turner if needed for the Bulldogs. Marysville comes in 9-9 on the season, 1-5 in NCKL action. Concordia 6-10 overall, 0-6 though in league play. 2-2 pitch swung on and missed. That is strike 3. That is out 3. Second strikeout of the inning, the 3rd of the ball game recorded by Aranay Flesher as she's able to sit down Dressman to end things here in the top of the 4th inning. Ketter with the solo home run. 1 gets left on. Marysville's in front, leading 8-0 as we will head to the bottom of the 4th inning here in our softball Game of the Week broadcast. Coming up for the Concordia Panthers, it'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters. Williams, Bonner, and Blackwood. We'll take a break. We'll come back. You're listening to our Panthers softball Game of the Week on KNCK. Yes. Breckland, Bob. I said Kate.
Oh, yeah, okay. I've got Breckland down there. I just didn't know.
Pitch for ball against Lindsay Dressman. Marysville out in front, leading 8-0 as we begin things here in this 4th inning. On a 1-0 pitch, driven out towards left. Williams with a lead-off single to start things off here in the bottom of the 4th.
That's exactly what the Panthers needed. Get that first base runner on, start getting those bats lined up. Now it's just a good, solid hit.
That'll bring Breckland Bonner up to bat now. Trying to lay down a bunt. It'll go foul on this first pitch for strike number 1. Panthers down 8-0. They played really well after giving up 6 in the first inning. Really tough defense, hitting a couple of errors, some really good hits put together by Marysville, who posted 6 runs in the first. They added another run in the second, and then a solo home run by Grayson Ketter added on in the 4th. 9 total hits so far in the contest here for Marysville. And again, they needed 8-0. Bonner swinging on the 0-1, unable to connect, balls behind her. Now down on the strikeout. She's unable to connect on this pitch coming inside for strike number 3, and that'll be outs at number 1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That'll bring the senior and Hattie Blackwood up to bat now for Concordia. The left fielder steps in. First pitch, looking at laying down the ball. This one missed outside for ball number 1. Blackwood trying to get something going here, batting 188 on the season, 6 hits on the year. Senior digging in, looking to lay down the bunt, unable to connect here. The ball briefly popped out of the glove of Barons, but didn't roll far, and so that holds up Williams at first base, not allowing her to take off from first to second. And the count now moves to 1 ball and 1 strike here to Blackwood. Dressman with the 1-1 delivery again. Blackwood trying to lay down a bunt. This time pops it foul. So the count will now move to 1 ball and 2 strikes. She'll be swinging away here. It's on deck. Blackwood, 2-2 pitch, swung on, unable to connect. Will go down swinging for the second out of the inning. And the 8th strikeout recorded here in this contest for Lindsey Dressman. Harley Brown, a strikeout victim her first time up, now going to come up to bat here for Concordia. The first pitch swung on and missed for strike number 1. Brown, the junior second baseman, trying to get something going with 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. The 0-1 pitch. This one just missed outside for ball number 1. So the count will even itself up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Panthers trying not to waste that leadoff hit that they got from Kendall Williams, who stands at second. 1-1 pitch on the way. This one missed outside. The ball comes out of the glove of Behrens, and Williams standing up will head from second on over to third. And so now she's a bag away from trying to put up the first Panther run of the contest, and Brown's looking at a 2-1 count.
I'd like to see Charlie right now just get a good, any kind of a hit, something to get on.
2-1, that'll be fouled off for strike number 2, and the count will now advance 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Brown. He does have 4 runs batted in on the season. The junior, 2 away, facing a 2-2. The next pitch swung on and missed. A high pitch out of the zone. Brown trying to chase it, goes down swinging. Now 9 strikeouts recorded so far in the contest for Lindsey Dressman. And a runner gets left stranded for Concordia as we will head to the top of the 5th inning. Panthers trailing the Bulldogs 8-0 here in our softball game of the week. We'll take a break. We'll come back. The 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up this inning for the Bulldogs. Turner, Behrens, and Keller. We're back after this. This is Panther Softball on KCK. Yes. Off for Marysville here in the top of the 5th inning with the Bulldogs out in front, leading 8-0. Turner take a first pitch for strike from Flesher. The next one fouled off out of play down the first base side for strike number 2. And now Flesher on the next pitch going to miss low and away for ball 1. And so the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fly out victim her last time up. Turner knocking another one foul down the right field side as the count will stay steady. 1 ball and 2 strikes. She did reach on an error back in the first, stole a base, and scored 1 of 6 runs for the Bulldogs in the first inning. Marysville with an 8-0 advantage here in the top of the 5th. Next pitch from Flesher to Turner. This one going to miss high for ball number 2. And so the count now evens itself up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sir.
I'm up again a hard hit line drive, really out to Stella Cruz in midfield.
Next pitch, a called 3rd strike on the corner. Flesher going to rack up another K. She's able to get Turner watching, and that is out number 1 here in the top of the 5th.
Exactly what Aaron needed in the whole Panther team right now. They just need
4th strikeout of the ball game for Flesher. Behrens, ground ball taken defensively here by Bethune, and Bethune with the toss to Nelson at first in time, and that's out number 2 now here in the 5th. As Behrens goes down on the ground out to short, that'll now bring Katie Keller, strikeout victim her last time, coming up to bat now with 2 away for Marysville.
Panther played good defense, and that was good defense by Hattie. Excuse me, Gibson, but 6-3.
First pitch going to miss high for ball number 1 here to the senior left fielder in Katie Keller. Keller walked her first time up back in the first inning. Was left stranded at the end of that inning. Struck out her last time up in the 3rd. She watched this move, 2 balls and no strikes here to Keller. Panthers trying to retire him in order. Next pitch. That one in for a strike from Flesher. The count now moves 2 balls and 1 strike.
You got the good call on that one. Just a little outside fastball.
Pitch swung on. This one unable to connect on. It comes off the helmet of the catcher in Johnson. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike here.
Cut out a few sunflowers too.
Keller facing the 2-1 count with 2 away here in the 5th. Panthers down 8-0. Pitch on the way, swung on, ground ball in the infield. Bonner chases in on it, long throw from Nelson, couldn't come up with it. And there it goes, an infield single for Katie Keller with 2 away. And that'll take us back to the top of the batting order. And the pitcher in Lindsey Dressman. Back in the 2nd inning, Panthers had gotten 2 early outs, but then end up giving out a 2-out double to left, followed by a single to left that led to a run for Marysville. Here the Panthers get the first 2 batters out, but then an infield single to Keller. And now we're heading back to the top of the batting order. Dressman's first pitch this time for ball 1. The next one, same situation, up high for ball number 2. So a 2-0 count here to Dressman. Dressman had a big 2 RBI double to left back in the 1st inning. Next pitch going to miss low and away for ball number 3. She reached on a fielder's choice back in the 3rd. Dressman looking at a 3-0 count. Pitch on the way, showing signs of a bunt, will take a strike. The count will now move 3 balls, 1 strike. And 2 away, 1 on. Keller at first with a 2-out single in the infield. Next pitch, swung on, popped up. This along the first baseline in foul territory, and the senior catcher in Emily Johnson able to spot and make the out to end the inning. Another runner gets left stranded for Marysville, but they maintain an 8-0 lead as we will head to the bottom of the 5th here in our softball game of the week from the Concordia Sports Complex. We're down at the bottom of the hour. We owe you a station identification. You're listening to Panther Softball on 1390 KNCK Concordia, 98.3 FM, and NCKtoday.com. Bottom of the 5th when we return. This is Panther Softball on KNCK. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Caitlin, one of the senior starters for this Panther team. Next Tuesday will be senior night. We will be able to host the Clay Center Tigers. Nelson going to watch this next pitch come in for a strike, and it's a called 3rd strike. Nelson goes down, and it's the 10th strikeout of the contest recorded for Lindsey Dressman. He now has 55 strikeouts on the season. A Flesher coming up to bat. She's swinging and fouling off the first pitch for strike number 1. Again, the top hitter on the team, batting .489 on the season. Aaron walked her last time up, back in the bottom of the 3rd inning. She did have a single to center, but was left stranded back in the 1st. Facing an 0-1 count. Flesher swinging again, unable to connect this time. She falls behind the count. No balls, no strikes.
I love the way she's playing
basement. Nice play defensively by Newman, able to get the throw over to Hager in time, and Flesher will go down for the second out of the inning on a ground out to third. And that'll bring Kinsley Bethune up to bat. Bethune trying to get her bat going here in the first game of this doubleheader. A couple of strikeouts, a little rare for the junior shortstop. He bats .350 on the season. She'll take a first pitch for strike here from Dressman. Dressman's been pretty comfortable on the mound. Again, has already recorded 10 strikeouts here in the contest. Marysville with an 8-0 lead here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Pitch on the way. This one misses low for ball number 1. So the count will now even itself up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Kinsley with 14 hits on the season. 1 double, 1 triple on the year for the junior shortstop. 1-1 pitch on the way. She swings and fouls this one off out of play. Down the first base side for strike number 2. So the count will now advance 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's 2 away here in the 5th. Caitlin Nelson went down on strikes. Aaron A. Flesher with a ground out in the infield. Bethune now facing a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way. This one down low in the dirt for ball number 2. The count will now move to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Panthers trying to get something going here. Trailing 8-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Dressman all the way with the 2-2 delivery. This one missing low inside. Ball number 3. And so Bethune has been able to push it to a full count.
Yeah, Bethune's had a good at bat here. She's fouled off some of the good pitches. Been able to lay off some of the bad pitches, so hopefully she can get a hit or a walk here and get the placement.
3-2 the counts. The pitch swung on and fouled off again by Kinsley Bethune as she's battling at the plate here against Dressman with 2 away. The senior catcher Emily Johnson on deck if needed. 3-2 the count. 2 down here in the 5th. Concordia trailing 8-0 at home against the Marysville Bulldogs. Pitch on the way, and this one, ball 4. Bethune able to draw a 2-out walk. On a tough pitch and a call on the outside corner, leading to ball number 4. And the base on balls for Bethune. She'll take her place at first base, and that'll bring the catcher and Emily Johnson up to bat for the Panthers.
Go, Emily.
That was just a really good at bat by Emily.
Go, Steve, you did it!
Made sure the pitches were good.
Swinging here at this first pitch is Johnson, a fastball unable to connect for strike number 1. Emily Johnson, another senior member of this Panther team, had a single to center her first time up. Struck out in her last plate appearance. Johnson showing signs of a bump, pulls back. She'll be swinging away, and she fouls this one off for strike number 2. Bethune trying to steal on that play from first to second, going to be sent back to first base. And again, Johnson facing an 0-2 count here with 2 away and 1 on. Nelson struck out to start off the inning. Flesher with a ground out to third. Bethune drew a 2-out walk. She stands at first. Johnson facing an 0-2 count. Pitch on the way from Dressman. Down in the dirt, ball 1. Count will advance 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stick around after the conclusion of this first game of the doubleheader. We will send you out to Toronto for the Kansas City Royals. We'll be matching up with the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. Royals losers of 3 straight, including a 1-run loss last night. As Johnson fouls off the 1-2 pitch, and the count will stay steady. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That game set for a first pitch at 6:07. We'll get you out to it as soon as we can following the conclusion of our softball game of the week here from the Concordia Sports Complex. Johnson facing a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and that'll go down as strike number 3 and out number 3 here in the 5th. A couple of more strikeouts racked up that inning by Dressman, and now has 11 Ks in the game, and Marysville in front, leading 8-0 as we head into the top of the 6th inning here in our softball game of the week broadcast from the Concordia Sports Complex. 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up this inning for Marysville. We'll grab a break. You're listening to Panther softball action on KCK. Yes. Marysville Bulldogs as they'll have their 234 hitters. Paige Siemens, followed by Grayson Ketter and Trinity Hager. That'll be the order for the Bulldogs here in the top of the 6th, with Marysville out in front, leading the Concordia Panthers 8-0 here in our Panthers softball game of the week broadcast from the Concordia Sports Complex. Toby Oscar, Lauren Swinson with you, Logan William back at the station. Got to take a moment to say happy birthday, my broadcast partner, Lauren.
Yeah, I am one old man.
I'll let you say it. I didn't feel comfortable saying it, so. We're happy to have you with us. And we've got great softball action for folks today. Next Tuesday, we're going to be back with the Panther baseball team. It's like Concordia High School baseball team. We'll be in action at home, matching up at the Play Center for senior night. We'll have that next Tuesday for you, right here on KNCK. Aaron A. Flesher battling against Paige Stevens to start things off here in the top of the 6th inning. The pitch here, going to miss outside low for ball number 2. First pitch missed high for ball 1, so 2-0 the count here to Siemens to start things off in the 6th. The next pitch going to miss up high as well. They called a strike, and so it'll go as a strike. Count now advances to 2 balls and 1 strike here from Flesher to Siemens. It'll be Siemens, Ketter, Hager. Again, the batters this inning for the Marysville Bulldogs. Chasing after a high pitch on the next one, fouling it off is Siemens for strike number 2. And so the count now advances 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 counts. Flesher has done a good job getting herself calmed down after a tough first inning, able to record a strikeout. And Siemens on an off-speed pitch gets caught out in front, swinging and missing for strikeouts number 1 here in the 6th.
That was a nice job again with that high fly ball. Really got her chasing it. Got the out number 1.
That is the 5th strikeout of the game for Flesher. And again, that brings up to bat now Grayson Ketter for the Marysville Bulldogs. First pitch to Ketter to miss for ball number 1. Next pitch to the high inside as well. Ball number 2. Grayson Ketter, the junior right fielder for this 9-9 Bulldogs team, trying to pick up their 2nd North Central Kansas League win. Here's a home run ball, comes off the glove of Brecklin Bonner. Bonner trying to recover it, looking to make a throw down to first, and this one way over the head of Nelson, and off the air, circling around first and heading into 2nd will be Ketter. Just a hard hit ball down the 3rd base line. Bonner lost it off her glove, had to barehand it then at that point. Tried to make a rush throw, but went over the head of the first baseman in Nelson, and results in Ketter getting 2 bases out of it. Now this first pitch from Flesher in to Hager, down in the dirt, gets past the catcher and Johnson, and Ketter once again going to advance.
Nice, done a real nice job behind the plate. Most of the that was bounce, kind of an awkward bounce.
Trinity Hager up to bat. This next pitch going to miss high for ball number 2. Trinity Hager popped out her last time up to the first baseman in Caitlin Nelson. She was also a ground out victim back in the 2nd inning. She was hit by a pitch, stole a base, and scored, though, back in the 1st in what was a big 6-run inning for the Bulldogs, who lead it 8-0 here in the 6th. Next pitch swung on, and this one a base hit out towards right, just off the glove of the 2nd baseman, trying to chase in on it, Carly Brown. Brown unable to get to it, and it'll go as an RBI single out towards right as it scores Grayson Ketter, and it adds another run for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs in front, leading 9-0.
Well, that was so close. Carly Brown probably within about 3 inches of getting her glove on that.
Coming up to bat now for the Marysville Bulldogs is Sarah Nemick, and the first pitch to Nemick going to miss for ball number 1. There is one away. As Nemick, check swing here, and it's going to go.
Look down to see if you went around.
Paul's going to say no, so ball number 2 going to be called here against Nemick. Nemick, junior 3rd baseman, this Bulldog team. 2-0 pitch on the way, swung off, missed here for strike number 1. Good job by Johnson getting this one stopped in the dirt and making sure that the runner held in place over at first base. Trinity Hager with that RBI single to right stands at first. Next pitch going to miss high to Nemick, and the count now advances. 3 balls and 1 strike. So Sarah Nemick who had a single to third but was left stranded her last time up, is going to foul this one back for strike number 2. And the count now goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here between Flesher and Neiman. She did have a big double to left as well back in the second inning when she scored. And she also had a 2 RBI triple to center in the first. Eventually coming around to score as well, and she's going to draw a walk here. 3-2 pitch. This one from Flesher misses high for ball number 4. So Sarah Neiman drawing the walk, and that puts 2 on with 1 away. And that'll bring Coach Gabar out of the dugout here for the Concordia Panthers as he brings the entire infield in. Let's talk things over here with the Panthers. Down 9-0 in the top of the 6th inning. 1 away here in the 6th. Coming up to bat next is the sophomore shortstop in Aubrey Dressman. Dressman herself has had a big game so far in this contest. Back in the top of the first, she had an RBI double out towards left center, driving in a run, and then she eventually came around to score as well. Dressman had an RBI single out to left center, but was left stranded back in the second inning. And then she was a strikeout victim back in the 4th her last time up.
Coach just had a little talk, wanted to settle Aaron Egg down a little bit. She's working really pretty fast. Maybe wants to work a little bit slower. She's kind of inconsistent this last inning here. Just a little bit, throwing high and then low, and just needs to settle her down just a little bit. She certainly can throw strikes, and that's what they need her to do right now.
5 strikeouts recorded so far for Flesher in the ball game. She got the leadoff batter, Paige Siemens to strike out to start things off in the 6th. But then Grayson Ketter reached on an air, was able to advance on a pass ball, and was brought home on an RBI single out to its right by Trinity Hager. Hager stands at second after Sarah Neiman drew a 1-out walk, so there's 2 on the bags in the first pitch from Flesher to Dressman in for a strike. Aubrey Dressman facing the 0-1. Next pitch high for ball number 1. The count now moves to 1 ball, 1 strike. And again, 1 away here in the 6th. 2 on. Hager at second, Nemick at first, and Aubrey Dressman with a couple of huge hits in this game. Facing a 1-1 count. She's going to foul off the 1-1 now. As this pitch goes back towards the backstop for strike number 2. So the count will now advance 1 ball, 2 strikes. Grace Turner waits on deck for Marysville. 1-2. Flesher with the delivery. This will pop back again. He's continuing to battle at the plate. Is Dressman for Marysville.
Renee's thrown some good pitches here. Low fastball, but first she wants it. She wants it about knee high. Right in there, and count even up.
Pitch on the way, swung on, ground ball, hard hit ball. They get the force out, Matt Cole trying to turn 2 out of it. They do. Nice job by Brecklin Bonner. A hard hit ball down the line. She was able to field it. Quickly took 1 step to the right to step on the bag. And then with a huge throw over to first base to Nelson, is able to record the double play. And that gets the Panthers out of the top of the 6th inning. As we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, Concordia finds themselves behind 9-0 here in our softball game of the week. We'll grab a break. We'll come back. You're listening to Panther softball action on KNCK. Take a minute. So we got Roush coming up.
Go ahead. Yeah, Ralph.
Kind of in the sport of the season. Roush, who's had a really nice freshman campaign, going to start things off for Concordia here in the bottom of the 6th inning, facing off against the right-handed in Lindsay Dressman. Dressman's had a really good game for Marysville. 11 strikeouts altogether. The Bulldogs in front. on, but then Roush unable to connect on the next pitch, and the count evens itself up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Jalen enters this game batting .276 on the season. She'll watch the next pitch this low for ball number 2. Likely the starter in the circle in game number 2. She's the designated player here in game 1, batting in the place of the right fielder in Stella Trost. 2-1 the count. Dressman's pitch in for a strike. The count will even itself up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jalen Roush, Kendra Williams, Brett Connor to open this inning. With the Panthers down 9-0 in this first game of the doubleheader. 2-2 pitch on the way. Hard hit ball. That's going to fall out in right. Base hit to start things off for Roush here in the 6th. Last time up was left stranded though. In the 4th inning, she'll take a first pitch high for ball number 1. Kinley comes into this contest batting .222 on the season. 3 runs batted in on the year. The 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled back out of play. Strike number 1, and the count will now move to 1 ball and 1 strike here to Williams.
Justin take a little off after
on the way. Williams unable to connect here. She'll go down on strikes. 12th strikeout of the contest recorded here in this one for Lindsay Dressman. And that will be bring the senior and Brooklyn Bonner up the bat.
A real nice play to end the inning. Last time hard hit ground ball right at him. Stepped on the base and then threw it.
Here's a shot here on the first pitch that's going to be fouled off down the right field side for strike number 1. So Bonner trying to get her bat going here in the contest. Bats out of the 6-hole position for the Panthers. Next pitch swung on and missed here by Bonner for strike number 2, and she's behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Panthers trying not to waste that leadoff single to start things off here in the 6th. 0-2 the count with 1 away. Pitch swung on and fouled off again by Bonner. She's trying to battle at the plate here against Dressman and continues to face an 0-2 counts. The senior left fielder, Addie Blackwood, who up next for the Panthers. Jalen Roush started off the inning with a single out towards right. Kinley Williams down on strikes. Bonner trying to battle, facing an 0-2 counts. Dressman with the delivery. This one, ground ball, and they're going to call it foul, or they're going to say it's there. They are. They're going to call it a ground ball in the infield. Coach Gabar trying to argue that it should have been a dead ball foul. And the umpires are going to talk things over here. Bonner's coming back to the plate, saying, hey, it bounced right in front of me. Going foul. The umpires talking things over. Marysville chasing in on it. The third baseman looking to record the out. Would have got her out, but they're going to say it is a foul ball, so they're going to send Jalen Roush back to first base. And Brooklyn Bonner facing still in 0-2 counts.
Well, that was a correct call. I'm sure the umpire did here at home plate just couldn't see it.
Pitch on the way. This one down in the dirt for ball number 1. And so a 1-2 count. Bonner fell behind quickly, 0-2. She's been able to foul off a couple of pitches and been able to take that one there from Dressman low for ball number 1. 1-2 on the way. Ground ball into the glove of the pitcher. Dressman trying to get the out at second. Does. Bonner's going to reach on the fielder's choice as they're able to get the force out against Roush at second base. Blackwood coming up to bat now with 2 away and 1 on. First pitch going to be fouled off by the senior left fielder for strike number 1. Blackwood with 4 runs batted in on the season, trying to give the Panthers a little bit more support here in the 6th. We are trailing right now 9-0 here in our softball game of the week from the sports complex. Next pitch, swung on, fly ball. This along the left field line. The left fielder trying to make the play on a diving pitch to end the inning by Katie Keller. Making up a lot of ground out in left field. Keller along the foul line, making a diving grab, and that will end the inning.
That was just a very nice play by that left fielder. He had to go the wrong way. The ball was trailing away from him.
That'll take us now to the top of the 7th inning here at our new broadcast. 9-0. We'll take a break. We'll come back. You're listening to our softball game of the week here on KNCCAT. Take a minute. Okay, just play these. That's fine. Okay, finish it. Going to try to add some run supports as they lead it 9-0 heading to the top of the 7th inning here in our softball game of the week broadcast from the Concordia Sports Complex. Toby Nosker, Lauren Swinson with you, Logan Loya back at the station. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up this inning for Marysville: Grace Turner, Emma Behrens, and Katie Keller. New pitcher into the contest for the Concordia Panthers is Kate Benishek coming on the throw here in the 7th inning, and the first pitch from Benishek in for a strike against Turner. Starting pitcher Aaron A. Flesher has moved over defensively to first base. Next pitch, ground ball. Bonner 2 hops it, makes the throw over to first, and this throw an errant one, having to pull Flesher off the bat. She's unable to come up with it, and that's going to allow Turner off the air to turn around first and head into second base. So Grace Turner reaching to start things off here in the 7th. That'll bring the catcher Emma Behrens up to bat now for the Marysville Bulldogs. Sophomore catcher going to step on to face off here against Benishek in the 7th. And again, they're trying to add to their run total, leading 9-0. First pitch going to miss outside for ball number 1. 7, 8, 9 hitters this inning for Marysville. Behrens, sophomore member of this team, 2 sophomores in the starting lineup for the Bulldogs. The 1-0 delivery misses high for ball number 2. Benishek has done a great job on the mound in limited action at times this season for the Concordia Panthers. This one just misses outside for ball number 3. So the town now advances 3 balls and no strikes. Still another game to come here from the Concordia Sports Complex. We invite everybody out to come out and check out the second game of the doubleheader between the Panthers and the Bulldogs. 3-0 pitch on the way. This one misses low. They call for the strike. So make it strike number 1 as Behrens laying off on the 3-0 count. Benishek able to deliver the strike. The count moves now 3 balls and 1 strike. No one out, 1 on. Turner at second for the Bulldogs. Next pitch. This one in for a strike as well. So Benishek back-to-back strike calls has now pushed this to a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes here between Benishek and Behrens. Katie Keller, who made a diving defensive stop to close out the last inning and left, waits on deck. Next pitch misses high, ball 4. So first walk given up here in the contest by Benishek. And there's 2 on to start things off here in the 7th. That'll bring Keller up to bat here for the Bulldogs. Senior left fielder, as I said, with an outstanding defensive play to end the inning last time. Keller has one base hit in the contest. That is single to an infield single to third. Back in the 5th inning. She also walked back in the 1st. Benishek delivered the first pitch strike here against Keller. After this, we head back to the top of the batting order. Next pitch, out in front of it, swinging and unable to connect is Keller, and she'll fall behind in the count. No balls, 2 strikes.
That was a real nice definitely a change up. Keller was way out in front.
The 0-2 delivery on the way. This one misses low for ball number 1. So the count will now advance. 1 ball and 2 strikes here from Benishek to Keller. 2 on, nobody out in the 7th. Marysville out in front, leading 9-0 here in our softball game of the week. The next pitch, inside part of the plate, missed for ball number 2. And so the count evens itself up again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Keller, a right-handed hitter, facing off against the right-handed throw in Benishek. Takes pitch. This one in the infield. Ground ball fielded by Brown. Gets the toss over at first. Trying to make a line throw at third. It gets past Bonner, and that's going to allow a run to come in and score off the air. Grace Turner will come in to score. Barons moves from 2nd on over to 3rd. And another run in for Marysville, who's grabbed a 10-0 advantage here in the 7th. Keller goes down on the ground out to 2nd. But an errant throw leads to a run coming in for the Bulldogs, who have grabbed a 10-0 advantage here in the 7th. And that takes us back to the top of the batting order in Lindsey Dressman. First pitch to Dressman. This one misses on the outside part of the plate for ball number 1.
I like the way the Panthers tried to get the play over at third base. It was just too bad the throw was there and now the run to come in.
Next pitch. This one missed outside for ball number 2. Making a strike, on the outside part of the plate. Even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Dressman with 1 hit so far in the contest. That a 2 RBI double to left back in the 1st inning. Facing a 1-1 count. Here's a ground ball, chasing in on it, Bonner. She'll get the toss to Fletcher in time for out number 2, but it does allow another run to come in and score as Barron's able to come across and add the 11th run of the contest here for Marysville. After Dressman goes down on the ground out to 3rd. And so now nobody on and 2 away as it'll bring Paige Siemens up to bat for Marysville in the first pitch in for a strike from Benishek.
Siemens struck out twice and also flied out to the first baseman. Scored a run back in the 1st inning.
Erin A. Flesher ending the game with 5 strikeouts for her on the mound. Benishek delivering a first pitch for strike, unable to connect on this next one as she misses loaded inside for ball number 1. So the count will now move even, 1 ball and 1 strike here between Benishek and Siemens. And 2 away, 2 runs have already come across this inning. Marysville has an 11-0 advantage as the next pitch in the dirt for ball number 2. And the count will now advance, 2 balls, 1 strike. Siemens trying to extend the inning for Marysville. Benishek trying to get out of it here. 2-1 pitch, misses high, ball 3. So the count will now move 3 balls and 1 strike. Kansas City Royals tonight in Toronto to match up with the Toronto Blue Jays. That game just getting underway in Toronto. We'll head that way at the conclusion of our softball game of the week here from the Concordia Sports Complex. 3-1. Next pitch down low, ball 4. 2nd walk allowed this inning by Benishek. 2-out walk drawn by Paige Siemens. Puts her at first base now. And it'll bring up Grayson Ketter. Grayson Ketter had a huge solo home run to left back in the top of the 4th inning. She reached on air and scored back in the 6th as well. There's a ground ball taken by Bonner. Bonner with the toss over to first. And that will end things here in the top of the 7th. Panthers, though, down to 3 outs after giving up 2 runs in the top of the 7th. Concordia finds themselves trailing 11-0 here in this home matchup against the Marysville Bulldogs. The Panthers will have the 8-9. Carly Brown, Caitlin Nelson, and 1 hitter. hitter, Aaron A. Flesher, coming up here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Again, next week, make sure you're with the Concordia High School softball team as they host the Clay Center Tigers. It'll be senior night next week, next Tuesday. Softball team will be in action at home. Panther baseball team will also be in action at home. And we're going to be with the Concordia High School baseball team next Tuesday. The Panthers will be taking on the Clay Center Tigers. We'll have the first game of that doubleheader for you between the Panthers and the Tigers on 1390 KNCK, 98.3 FM, and NCKtoday.com. Lindsey Dressman will stay out on the mound for Marysville, trying to close this one out. The Bulldogs able to add their run total at the top of the 7th, 2 additional runs, and they have an 11-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Again, starting things out for the Concordia Panthers in the bottom of the 7th will be the junior second-rate baseman and Carly Brown. She'll be followed by Caitlin Nelson. And we'll head back to the top of the batting order with Aaron A. Flesher.
Carly Brown rounded out to the third baseman back in the second inning. Got caught looking. Hopefully Carly's due. See if Carly can't get a good base hit and start this the 7th inning.
Dressman's first pitch to Brown. This one going to miss outside for ball number 1. Dressman's had a great night on the mound. 12 strikeouts in total for her in this contest. Has not allowed a run. And she's able to deliver a strike here to even up the count. Now 1 ball and 1 strike.
They can be there.
Dressman was very consistent. Strike all night long.
1-1 delivery on the way. This one fouled off out of play down the first base side by Brown. And the count now moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes here to the junior in Carly Brown.
That was good. Got the ball bad on the ball, hit it hard, but it's down the right field.
1-2 pitch on the way, fouled off again by Brown as she stays alive. The count remains steady at 1 ball, 2 strikes. And there's a season in play to some really good pitching. Dressman's done a nice job so far in this one. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball played by the shortstop. Throw from Dressman over to first to Hager in time. Route number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Carly hit the ball. Excuse me, Carly hit it very hard, but the shortstop did a nice job coming up.
That'll bring Caitlin Nelson up to bat. The first pitch for Caitlin. Gonna miss low and away for ball number 1. 1 away now in the 7th. Panthers behind, trailing 11-0 here in our softball game of the week broadcast. Next pitch swung on and missed as well by Nelson. She now looking at a 1-1 count. And back to the top of the batting order after this, the senior pitcher, Aaron A. Flesher, who started the game on the mound, then moved to first base there in the top of the 7th inning, will be due up. Next pitch swung on and missed by Nelson for strike number 2. The count now moves 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 delivery fouled off as Nelson battling remains alive here in the 7th.
Did a nice job on that one. That was just probably high, maybe, but couldn't take it. She went after it and just got a piece of it.
1-2 pitch on the way. Nelson picks this one up. Foul once again out of play. And the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Nelson doing a good job at this, and you just like to see her now finish it off with a good base hit.
1-2 the count here to Caitlin. Home plate umpire. A few more balls after the Panthers have done a pretty good job the last 2 batters, Brown and Nelson, fouling off pitches, battling, trying to do what they can to try to extend this one for Concordia. Panthers finding themselves behind, though, 11-0. Marysville was able to jump out the top early, posting 6 runs in the first. Hard hit line drive right into the glove of the third baseman and Sarah Neiman, who's able to make the out. Nice turn and cut by Nelson, but it was just right into the glove of Neiman defensively, and that's out number 2 here in the 7th.
That's why he called the third base the hot box, man. I'll tell you what, that was a hard hit line drive.
Aaron A. Flesher going to foul off the first pitch here with 2 away for strike number 1. So Flesher fouls it off out of play down the third base side for strike number 2. So now Dressman just one strike, one out away from being able to pick up this victory for Marysville. Marysville trying to record just their second league victory of the season. They were swept by Abilene, swept by Wapega. They split their recent game against Play Center, the team that Concordia will see coming up next week here in Concordia. Marysville 9-9 on the season. Panthers 6-10 overall on the year. Bulldogs with an 11-0 lead here in the bottom of the 7-2 away. And on the 0-2, Flesher swinging. This one just fouled down the left field side. She'll come back to the plate, looking at an 0-2 count.
We love the aggressiveness of Aaron. She really is up there. She's up there to get a hit the ball hard. And she's had some good swings. She just hasn't got all of it. Been telling them all on the left field line.
Left-handed hitter digs in. The 0-2, late swing, fouls it off again.
Good thing you bring these balls back. So the athletic budget is so up.
0-2 the count, 2 away. 11-0. Bulldogs in front. Panthers trying to battle in the 7th. Flesher on the 0-2. Swings and fouls off another.
That one's inbound. Coach Gabar will have to run it.
So Aaron A continues to fight. 2 away. Carly Brown, ground out victim to short to start off the inning. Caitlin Nelson lined out to third. Flesher facing an 0-2. Has fouled off about 4 straight pitches and finally looks at one down in the dirt for ball 1. So 1-2 the count here from Dressman to Flesher. Dressman, 12 strikeouts altogether, has kept the Panthers off the board. Next pitch, swung on, ground ball, fielded by the shortstop. The toss to first, and that's your ball game. Aubrey Dressman defensively with the throw to Hager to get the out. And the Panthers held off the boards here in our game of the week as they go down here 11-0, dropping this game to the Marysville Bulldogs. The loss drops Concordia to 6-11 on the season, 0-7 in league play, with still one more game to come here in the doubleheader. But that's going to wrap up our broadcast tonight. Coming up, we're going to send you out to Toronto. The Kansas City Royals and the Toronto Blue Jays doing battle. We'll get you to that coming up here momentarily. But that's the conclusion of our game of the week. 11-0, our score. My broadcast partner, Lawrence Smithson, Logan William. Thank you, Logan, for all your work. I'm back at the station, and we'll be back with you next week. We'll bring you Panther baseball action between Concordia and Play Center. That'll be our game of the week. Center.